Well, the first thing I want to say is a big thank you to our fans that braved the elements to come out tonight and really impact this game in a big way. When I walked out on the floor, I did not think I was going to see that many people. I did not. Our students showed up, our season ticket holders showed up, and when we made a run, they were there, and when they made a run, they were there, when we really needed them. And I think it makes a big, big difference to our players to know that they have that kind of support, and it definitely impacted our ability to play the kind of defensive game we did tonight, which we've done at times. We have not been consistent, and I think that was the key to tonight's game. Our consistency at the defensive end of the floor against a really good team.
Coach, another big game for Cartwright, another career high 10 assists. Can you talk about him? He kind of seems to be seeing the floor really well.
Well, what he's doing is he's really becoming a terrific point guard. He always was a scorer. He could play point. He could get the ball up. He could get the ball in the lane. But there's a lot more to being a point guard, especially at this level. And I'm really proud of him and how hard he's worked and how he's studied and how he's changed his game. When you think about his performance down the stretch, and his numbers weren't horrendous at Penn State, but his decision-making late in that game was not what it needed to be. It's a 5-point game. 5 minutes to go, we lose by 14. And we talked about it. We showed him. And then he goes out at Michigan 9-0. And then tonight he's 10-4, double-double. He can score, but he can control the game, and that's what we need him to do.
You guys have played well in stretches. How close to this, or how close were you to a complete game tonight?
This is our most complete game, without question. I think at both ends. When you look at a couple things. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys score. For us, at Minnesota, we had 4 guys score. So we have multiple people scoring, 4 people in doubles. We made our free throws. We had more assist and turns, and they had more turns and assists. So I mean, you look at those numbers, and I think it bears out that we were good at both ends, and we were able to sustain it.
Coach, what allowed your defense to be so consistent tonight?
Focus, concentration, tremendous effort, and when we went to our bench, it was every bit the same. There was no change in our defensive effort, intensity, or execution when we went to the bench, and that's what you need at this level. That's what you need.
Coach, you got a big night from Jared Cole. He was 6 of 6 from the floor, and then had 9 rebounds. It was dominant at both ends. Just, I guess, talk about the impact that he provided you guys right from the very start.
When he's playing like that, we're going to be a lot better because he's able to go out and play Draymond Green straight up, and that's a big deal. And 9 rebounds, but he was slipping. He was active. He moved his feet. He was 13 and 9, and I had to take him out twice for foul trouble. He would have played more minutes. So when he plays like that, it takes a lot of pressure off of Asabi, Brahmer, Devin Archie, and those 2 guys. I mean, how good were they? 6 points for Brahmer, 6 rebounds for Arch. When I had both of them on the bench with foul trouble, both Cole and Asabi.
Jared made a prediction to some of us. He said, "Be ready because you're going to have a lot of good things to write about." Had you guys had a couple good practices?
We did. We had, in a lot of ways, a back to the drawing board kind of practice. When you get to February, you already have everything in. You sharpen things up, and then you focus on the next team on your schedule. You go game plan, personnel, especially because we hadn't played that. But what we did on Monday was break down every aspect of our defense, like it was the first day of practice. How we position our feet, how we help and recover, how we defend the post, how we contain penetration, how we rotate out of it. All of those things. And then we did the same thing out of our zone. We played some zone tonight. We mixed our zone, and so we worked on an entire practice, through an entire practice, all defense.
Monday.
And then yesterday, normally we would introduce the next opponent 2 days before game. And this week was the first time we did not do that. We introduced them 1 day before and just focused on the defensive practice. Because anything short of that, it didn't matter what the game plan was. We got to be able to stop somebody.
You had a blitz right at the start of the game.